What is up, everybody? Keith Mitchell here from the Outerhaven Productions, fresh off of my PAX West 2024 trip, all the way from Seattle, Washington, back to my humble abode here in Delaware. And man, I've got a lot to talk about. But before I can even do that, as I got home and checked my emails, because airplanes in airplane mode, I got a lot of notifications that Conquer, the multiplayer hero shooter for the PlayStation, also PC, is going offline. Now, for those who have not been paying attention, that game went online, started release back August 23rd, and as of is it August 6th? I think August 6th, the game is going offline. Now, that's like unprecedented, right? Because it's like it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks since this game was been online, and it's going offline. And everything from the lackluster reception to poor sales to people not liking the game. Anything that you can throw at this game, it probably will stick. But there's just a lot of things that is really frustrating, given the fact this game has been in development for 8 years. We have no idea how much the game costs during that time during the development process. Uh, Firewalk Studios mentioned that this was pretty much like a passion project. Is something that they really want to do for quite some time, and it's just it's just sad to see what happened. Now, this game is, well, should I say was available for PlayStation and also for the PC. And I think the big thing that really hurt this game, outside of the fact that, well, the particular market that they threw this game into is already saturated. And we've got Overwatch 2, we've got Marvel Rivals, and God knows countless other games that are trying to carve their own niche into here, and it just didn't work. But the problem that I have with this entire situation is the fact that how this is being treated and how we as gamers are being complete and total asses. That's it. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything in this topic right now. We have been asses. Now, I'm not the I have not said that I was very confident in this game. I did not think this game had any kind of staying power, but I also don't like this type of genre anymore. I've been burnt out for years on end. So that was it. But there were also people who like, I really like this game. I like the characters, I like the lore, I like the setting. And it's like, you know what? If you like this, more power to you. I'm not someone that's going to tell you, ew, this game is terrible, you shouldn't play it. Because there's enough toxic people out there in this gaming space that'll do that. So there's no need for me to add one more ignorant voice out there. But what frustrates me is, again, going back to how much effort and time that Firewalk Studios put into this game for people to go, this game is ass, this game is terrible, why they make this game, you guys are no talent hacks. And we're seeing this toxicity yet again from the gaming audience that are complete ignorant to what these developers doing. Because first of all, if you think these guys are no talent hacks, I want to see your ass put a game in development and then come back and tell me how hard it was for you to develop that game, because we can sit down and be armchair developers for years on end, but none of us, except for the ones who have gotten off their ass and developed the game. So shut the fuck up. Sorry, that had to be said. Now, as far as Firewalk Studios goes, this is very frustrating because Sony is the one that's going to end up saying, okay, yes, I'm going to give you guys a second chance, or no, this game is dead. We're not helping you. We're not giving you more money. This game is going away. Now, we can go back in time and remember another game that Sony was hyping up a lot and then just did not do what they wanted, No Man's Skies. However, the developer did not give up. The developer was like, you know what? Screw this. We're going to do this on our own. And years after years of development and busting their butts, No Man's Sky has regarded as one of the best space combat exploration games to ever be created. And that's after a lackluster sale, lackluster reception. We've got Cyberpunk 2077, which is perhaps the biggest colossal failure of a game that was hyped to hell and heaven. And then, after doing everything, CD Projekt Red finally got that game to where they wanted it to be, and people are loving it. So there are definitely examples of a game doing terrible that have come back and done amazing. And then we have other games that just don't cut the mustard. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. Redfall. And I liked Redfall for what it had. It had great potential, had great bones, but the developer just did not buckle down and do what I expected them to do. So now that we got that out of the way, the problem that I have with all this is Okay, the game will be taken offline very shortly. People are already talking about should they buy copies of Concord to have as a collector's edition because the game is going offline and you're probably not be able to play it again. And that's sad because a lot of people were written off this game from the very beginning. There are a lot of people that I follow. There are a lot of people that I see on Twitter, and they've made countless YouTube videos saying this game was terrible, this game sucks, this game's not going to do any good, and we just wrote it off. We didn't even give it a chance. We just said it's terrible, goodbye. I mean, if we did that with every game that has ever been released, then we would be without some amazing games, and especially some of my favorite games, Souls likes or Soulsborns, whatever you want to call them. When Dark Souls was first released, this game was not received well. When the game was in development, everybody who was working on the game prior to certain someone stepping up to the plate and taking over the game figured that this game was going to crash and burn and nobody wanted to play it. And now look, we had Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. The series is amazing. They've got countless other developers copying what From Software has done. And we've got other games that have done the same damn thing. But yet, there are always going to be specific games that people just don't like and they write them off. And unfortunately, they're right. And Conquer, unfortunately, is just another one of those games that didn't do well, and we're seeing what's happening. But I just don't like the fact that we decided to write them off. There are people online going that the game never should have been made. Now, who are we to tell developers that they should never make a game? Who are we to tell developers that they should not take risks? Because we're the people complaining that developers don't take enough risks. We don't see new games being created in the industry. And then when somebody does take a risk, when somebody does try something new, oh, it sucks. What do we want? Do we need to make up our mind and figure out exactly what we want? Do we want to keep companies making the same damn games? Do we want to see them keep making remasters and remakes? Or do we want to see developers go, you know what? Let's try something completely new. And we're not sure if it's going to crash or burn or if people are going to love it, but let's give it a try. I mean, even the brand new Visions of Man, where everybody's saying it's a great game, there are other people that said, they played this a little bit too close to the heart. I wanted them to do more. It's a fantastic game, but they kept things very safe. At the end of the day, we have to stop this. We have to stop being so damn toxic and writing things off and saying that things are terrible without giving them a chance. There have been so many people who didn't even play Conquer. They just looked at the videos. Oh, this game is bad. I'm not going to play it. Okay, if that's fantastic. Who are you to tell the next person, don't go play this game because this game is terrible? There are a lot of people that I look up to that were like, don't do this. And I think everybody's entitled to their own opinion, obviously, because that's why they're opinions. But I think that was a terrible opinion. And unfortunately, a lot of people thought the same. Either way, nothing is going to change the fact that Concord is going offline. Firewalk Studios may likely see a lot of jobs being lost if that doesn't come to the entire company being collapsed and Sony getting rid of them. We have no idea what's going to happen. But every time we see something like this happen, game does bad. Typically, the company, the studio that developed the game usually sees a lot of job losses. I mean, hell, we're at the point where companies do great and they still see people losing their job. It's sad to see what's happening with Concord and Firewalk Studios. I really hope that the studio can land back on its feet and either get a chance to prove that what they made or what they worked on for the last 8 years wasn't a bust, or they get a chance to work on something else. But likely something negative is going to happen. Obviously, we're definitely going to see probably next week or so that Sony goes, we've got rid of Firewalk Studios, or we laid off half the development team, something of that sort. It's definitely going to happen, and it sucks. But let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Was Conquer that bad of a game? Do you think they need to come back and work on the game again and get another chance, or should they just go away and take this L? Let me know in the comments below. Also, we just came back from PAX West 2024, and I'm extremely tired, but I'm very grateful to Repop for inviting myself and Scott out to the event. But for us to continue doing this, to go out to other events, we have set up a Patreon. In a nutshell, traveling to all these different events such as PAX or Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show or other gaming events or geek culture events that may pop up. Getting to them isn't cheap. We've got to pay for airfare, we've got to pay for hotel, we've got to pay to eat, and various other things. So obviously, we're asking you, our audience, to help us in any way you can. If you can contribute to our Patreon, thank you. And if you don't, that's okay. We're still going to continue to bring you the best coverage that we can. But obviously, getting more help would be very helpful for us. But thanks for watching. And again, don't forget to put down what you think about Conquer and what's happening to the game and possibly the development studio in the comments below.